tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Drifting is nothing but a negative state of mind, a state of mind conspicuous by its emptiness of purpose.
There's something wrong with me. An emptiness. I thought it started when my sister died, but now it feels like something bigger. Just a void.
I can best define the word drift by saying that people who think for themselves never drift, while those who do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his own mind. He would rather let me occupy his mind and do his thinking than to go to the trouble of thinking for himself. A drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws in his way without making a protest or putting up a fight. He doesn't know what he wants from life and spends all his time getting just that. A drifter has lots of opinions, but they are not his own. Most of them are just supplied by me.
Screenslayer interrupts this program for an important announcement.
I'll be damned. She knew.
Let's see if your gadget works.
Don't bother watching the rest.
Gotcha.
Elastigirl doesn't save the day. She only postpones her defeat. And while she postpones her defeat, you eat chips and watch her confront problems that you are too lazy to deal with. Superheroes are part of your brainless desire to replace true experience with simulation. You don't talk, you watch talk shows. You don't play games, you watch game shows. Travel, relationships, risk. Every meaningful experience must be packaged and delivered to you to watch at a distance, so that you can remain ever sheltered, ever passive, ever ravenous consumers who can't bring themselves to rise from their couches, break a sweat, and participate in life.
A drifter is one who is too lazy mentally to use his own brain. That is the reason I can take control of people's thinking and plant my own ideas in their minds. Do little or no thinking for themselves are drifters. A drifter is one who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of his mind.
You want superheroes to protect you and make yourselves ever more powerless in the process, while you tell yourself you're being looked after, that your interests are being served, that your rights are being upheld, so that the system can keep stealing from you, smiling at you all the while.
Is it a sin for one to drift through life without definite aim, plan, or purpose? Yes, because this habit leads to poverty and destroys the privilege of self-determination. It also deprives one of the privilege of using his own mind as a medium of contact with infinite intelligence.
I just love how you guys know exactly what you want to do, and you spend your whole life getting really good at it. I wish I was more like that. It's like every time I get moderately good at something, I just quit and start something new. But I just know my own limits, and I'm not going to waste my time chasing something that will ultimately be a disappointment for me. That's not me.
光博，让他试试。如果你心中没有靶子，就是无的放矢。
People who whine and beg God to assume responsibility for all their troubles and provide them with all their necessities and luxuries of life are too lazy to create what they want and translate it into existence through the power of their own minds.
Kid, anything you can dream about here, you can make. Zero limits. You know what I'm talking about. That was your tower, right?
Yeah.
Pretty killer for a first build.
When you hear a person praying for something that he should procure through his own efforts, you may be sure you're listening to a drifter.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Infinite intelligence favors only those who understand and adapt themselves to her laws. She makes no discrimination because of fine character or pleasing personality. These things help people negotiate their way through life more harmoniously with one another, but the source from which prayer is answered is not impressed by fine feathers. Nature's law is, know what you want, adapt yourself to my laws, and you shall have it.
This place blew my mind. Whoa! Turns out it was the place I'd been looking for my whole life. A world where anything you can imagine, you can create.
Page 73 in the book A Happy Pocket Full of Money by David Cameron Gakandi. Here then is what it means to pray ceaselessly. You have a desire, you will it to come into being, to manifest. You intend it wholeheartedly, clearly, in a focused way, and with certainty. You pass this intent on to the source, in whatever way you know how. Simple intention is enough, although meditation, stillness, is more effective when you have the time. Praying without ceasing is going through the whole day, every day, with focused intention for all your life's desires with certainty, detachment, and gratitude. You don't do this just once at a special time during the day and then act totally different and remain confused the rest of the day. Praying ceaselessly has to become a lifestyle. That is, prayer is meant to be active, ever-present, and part of your normal wakefulness. It is co-creative with the source. It wills to action. It is self-assertive. It is not the periodic, passive, helpless, and emotional appeal that many of us were taught to conduct as children. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and ye shall find. Yet before you ask, it is given unto you. Be self-assertive, co-creative, ever-present, and grateful. Intend to receive, and don't beg. That is praying without ceasing. Get rid of the idea that prayer is the same as begging God for a favor. Lose your sense that God chooses whether or not to grant this favor and comes down and does both your work and his own. Prayer is actually will, and will is co-creative. Your part of it is to use clear intention, certainty, gratitude, detachment. You must have certainty. You must know you have this power. And you must trust the source is friendly to your plans. To the extent that you do so, your prayers, your will be answered.
Ain't no telling when I go, so there ain't shit that I'ma wait for. I'm the type to say a prayer and then go get what I just pray for, nigga.
Teach children that definiteness of purpose, backed by definite plans, persistently and continuously applied, is the most efficacious form of prayer available to human beings. The schools and colleges teach practically everything except the principles of individual achievement. They require young men and women to spend from 4 to 8 years acquiring abstract knowledge, but do not teach them what to do with this knowledge after they get it. School teachers help me gain control of the minds of children, not so much by what they teach the children, as because of what they do not teach them. The entire public school system is so administered that it helps my cause by teaching children almost everything except how to use their own minds and think independently. I live in fear that someday some courageous person will reverse the present system of school teaching and deal my cause a death blow by allowing the students to become the instructors, using those who now serve as teachers only as guides to help the children establish ways and means of developing their own minds from within.
I say no testing, and I will tell you why, Joe. Gabe, I believe that the children are the future. Now listen, you can teach them well, but buddy, you have got to let them lead the way.
When that time comes, school teachers will no longer belong to my staff.